Hey Jim, what's happening? Yeah, I'm down here in Puerto Penasco, Mexico, and I was just thinking, that last collaboration, that peach day, was an absolute blast. We need to do this again. You got any ideas?
How about we celebrate Day of the Dead? It's that time of year. We can cook something that's Mexican to celebrate.
What? Day of the Dead? Ah, November 1st and 2nd. That means we'll have to do 2 videos. Sounds like a great idea.
Wow, that beach looks pretty awesome. I love it.
Well, what are you going to make for the first one?
Well, I think for my dish, I might make a chicken mole lasagna. I love a lasagna.
Oh, that sounds incredible. Oh, I'm going to revisit the Tortas Ahogadas that I'd filmed before, but this time I'm going to do it with carnitas. Last time it was a quick sort of meal. This time we're going to take our time with it. Very important day.
Wow.
All right, Jim, I'm going to get to it. Man, this is going to be fantastic.
Awesome.
Greetings and welcome back to the Galley of the Sun. I'll tell you what, today I am stoked for several reasons. Number one, this is part 1 of a 2-day collaboration with Jim of Jim's Kitchen.
I love it.
We are celebrating the Day of the Dead. It is a holiday generally celebrated in Mexico or by Mexicans all over the world. It is a day to fondly remember those departed friends and family members. And part of that celebration is cooking their favorite food. Well, I don't have a departed family member whose favorite food was Tortas Ahogadas, but I'll tell you what, they're delicious and it's got to be somebody's favorite. So that's what we're making today. So we've had a previous video on Tortas Ahogadas. During that video, I made a quick version. I used store-bought roast beef. And we also made a very quick sauce, mostly chipotle sauce. Today, we're going all in. We are going for something fantastic. There are a ton of different variations you can do with Tortas Ahogadas. You can make them with beef, you can make them with pork, you can make them with fish. What we're going with today is carnitas, which is another reason that I'm stoked, because I've never made carnitas like this before. A few years ago, I saw a video, Greg of Ballistic Barbecue made carnitas very similar to this method, and I was intrigued. I don't know why I haven't got to it until now, but today is the day that I'm going to make it happen. So, first of all, what we need to do is get our meat cut up. So what I have here is pork loin. So we're going to take that and we're just going to cut it into some large chunks that's going to fit into our Dutch oven and be able to get submerged. What I have here is just over 3 pounds. Now, all of the amounts, ingredients, the directions for the recipe are down in the comments section. So take a look down there in the description. Speaking of the comment section, do you celebrate the Day of the Dead? What food do you normally make? Or do you make Tortas Ahogadas, and how do you make them? All right, got all those diced up. Now we need to get them seasoned. So I'm going to get them back on the tray here. Get my cutting board wiped off. Now we're just going to season them with some coarse sea salt. Not crazy heavy, not light though. There's a lot of meat here. It can take it. Get those flipped over. Now, this whole meal is going to take me probably about 4 hours to prepare. So, something you can do on a day off or a weekend. My other Tortas Ahogadas recipe I did on a weeknight after I got home from work. So, maybe took me 40 minutes or so to put that one together. So, you want to give that a look. There we go, I'm happy with that. Now let's get over to the stove and get these started. The key to incredible carnitas is making sure that you're using lard, preferably pork lard. I am incredibly lucky. In the Valley of the Sun, there is a chain of Mexican grocery stores Cardenas Ranch Market, if I remember right. There, I was able to get from their deli pork lard that was made fresh right there. So, we're going to go in with a pound of pork lard. Let's get every bit of that golden deliciousness in there. Now we're going to heat that on medium-high heat until it clarifies. All right, the lard's all melted. It's beautiful and clear. Now I'm going to add a white onion that I have quartered. And don't just chuck them in there because hot lard is going to hurt if it splashes on you. In goes my garlic cloves. And then in with the pork. Now in with that goes a cinnamon stick, the Mexican oregano, and bay leaves. And then very key to this, 2 cups of agua. You can get it at a Mexican grocery store. If there's not one near you, you can substitute water. Really. Okay. Now we're going to arrange things and make sure everything's submerged. All right. Now we're going to bring this up to a simmer. All right, we got a nice simmer there. Now we're going to turn that heat down a little bit, and we're going to let this go for about an hour until we come back to this. But we got other stuff to do in the meantime, so let's get on it. Okay, so the carnitas are started. There's a plenty of other things we can get done during that long cook. One of them is pickle some onions. We're going to want some onions with this. So get yourself a mason jar. I did a short video on this just about a year ago. So in that mason jar is going to go half a cup of apple cider vinegar, a tablespoon of sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and then a thinly sliced red onion. Chuck them in the jar. All right, once you get that all together, get the cap on, get it good and tight because you're going to shake the crap out of it. Got to get that sugar dissolved and that salt dissolved and all the onions coated. So the earlier you do this, the more flavor you're going to have. So we're going to get this set in the refrigerator, and then about every 30 minutes or so, I'm going to pull it back out and shake it again and make sure everything's mixed up. There we go. But this is, I believe, Tortas Ahogadas Revisited 666.
The number of the beast.
All right, so we got the carnitas started. We're going to have to do something with those in just a little bit. We've got our onions pickled and sitting in the refrigerator pickling. Now we need to make the sauce because Tortas Ahogadas means drowned sandwich. Just like the innards of a Tortas Ahogada, there is a ton of different variations. Many of them are incredibly spicy. A popular sauce for it includes chiles de arbol. Lost the camera editor, but we're okay. Which is real spicy. If you've been following us, you know that we don't like real spicy stuff. We like flavor. So we're going to get this sauce made. Behind me, I have 4 cups of agua boiling. Once again, you can get that at a Mexican grocery store. If you can't find it, just use water. But what I'm going to do, once that comes to a boil, I'm going to add, and all the amounts again are down in the description, 5 plum tomatoes, 2 guajillo peppers that have been de-seeded, de-stemmed, and deveined, couple bay leaves, 1 chipotle, diced chipotle in adobo, or if you already have the diced ones, about a tablespoon and a half. This is somewhere where you can adjust your heat. That's really the only heat source in this sauce. The guajillo peppers really don't have any heat to them at all. 10 peppercorns, several cloves of garlic, and an onion that's been quartered. We're going to get that into the boiling water, let it boil for 10 minutes, then we're going to shut it off. From that point, you want to let it set as long as you can, anywhere between 2 and 4 hours. It's going to coincide with our 2-hour cook for the carnitas, taking them the rest of the way, so we're going to end up letting ours set for about 2 hours. All right, the water's boiling, so in goes all those ingredients. Next step will be the carnitas. So the carnitas have been simmering in the pork lard with the onions and the bay leaves and the cinnamon and everything else we put in there for about an hour. Now we're going to add a few things to it. We're going to add a half a cup of Mexican Coke. That's right, the good stuff with the cane sugar. Make sure it's at room temperature. We're also going to add a cup of evaporated milk. And then we're going to squeeze in the juice of an orange and then chuck the peel in there for even more flavor. We're going to let this go for another 2 hours. So we'll talk then. All right, let's get to making that sauce. So our mixture has been sitting here for about 2 hours. Now let's get it together. We're going to chuck all the solids into our Vitamix here. And then add about a cup of the water. Here we go. Get that all blended up. All right, now we're going to strain it. You can hear those carnitas still going behind me. God, this house smells incredible right now. Ooh, this smells incredible too. All right, now we're gonna get that back on the stove for low heat. Let that go for about 30 minutes or so. Ooh, look at that. All right, let's get these together. They've been cooking all day. The smell's driving me crazy. Let's make it happen. So I've got my bolillos here that I got from the local Mexican grocery store. Get those cut open. Now we're gonna get those toasted. We're gonna hit them with a little bit of Kewpie mayo to give them some fat to help that toasting process. And we'll get those things chucked in the oven. Next, we're gonna fish out our carnitas from our mixture there. Make sure we leave the bay leaves and the oranges and all that behind. All right, get our carnitas. Look at that, just fall apart tender. And freaking hot. Maybe I need cotton gloves under these. There we go. Now let's build a sandwich. All right, first we're going to put down a little layer of the sauce. There we go. Sit our bread right on that. We're going to hit it with a little bit of mayo. And then a little bit of guacamole. You can also use fresh avocado, which I plan to do, but I don't have any here. We'll throw some greens on there for a little bit of crunch. And then we'll pile on some of our carnitas. Though this is a sandwich, this is definitely designed to be a fork sort of meal. Then we get our top bun on there, a little bit more sauce. Then we hit it with some of our pickled onions that we made earlier. And then we make it purdy with some crema. And there you go, behold, the torta ahogada revisited. Oh, I forgot, a little bit of cilantro. Get a little bit of cilantro on there. All right, let's give that a try. Go this side. Make sure we get some carnitas, that sauce, the crema. Holy crap. I'll tell you what, I enjoyed the last ones we did. This one's 10 times better. Oh, it's fantastic. Hey, I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. Make sure you check out what Jim is doing for Day of the Dead on Jim's Kitchen. If you like what you saw, hit the like button. Down in the comments, tell us, do you do something different? What do you serve on Day of the Dead? Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, fair winds and following seas.
Wow, that looks so good. Save me a bite.
Ah, that's very kind of you to say. De nada, amigo.